Well, hello there, you good-looking people.
Hey, what is going on, everybody? Welcome to another edition of BB Nation Radio. As always, I'm your host, J-Dub, and we are coming at you live from all over the place this week. Once again, all I can say is thanks, Corona. So you have myself here in the HQ of Backwoods Veterans Media, joined by my lovely co-host, Miss Mariah, a.k.a. the Sexy Girlfriend.
Oh, sexy girlfriend!
Alright, girl, you're so basic. Say you're basic, say you're easy.
And once again, as always, joined by our outstanding co-host, my fellow U.S. Army veteran and our resident outdoor expert, John the Dapper Sapper Toll.
Here's Johnny.
The show can wait. I need to look pretty.
And as always, the man, the myth, the legend behind the scenes, the good old high-tech redneck, good old John.
The high-tech redneck.
All right, so a quick shout out to our sponsors right quick. First off, to our friends up at Eric's Armory and ericsarmory.com for all your shooting, reloading, and tactical needs, whatever it may be, whether shopping in store or online. Be sure to hit up our friends up at Eric's Armory and ericsarmory.com. Also, if you're needing some CB work done to your favorite rig, whether you're needing an install, whether you're needing a tune-up or a tweak and peek, whatever the case may be sure to hit up our buddy Tiny over at Tiny CB Shop, located out of Malala, Oregon. You can find them at tinycbshop.com. And we have one event coming up on the calendar. It's kind of floating in the wind right now. And that is our second annual Guitars for Stars. It was scheduled for Saturday, May 23rd, Memorial Day weekend. But due to, like I said, thanks, Corona. Yeah, I messed it up for all of us. We are having to postpone that. Right now, we're looking at setting a date sometime towards the latter part of summer. What that exact date is right now is still in the works. We have a couple in mind that we're trying to work with our acts as well as the venue on trying to get that date locked down. So as soon as we have a for sure date, we'll very, very quickly get that out to you guys as soon as we can. So we are still raffling off our G4S rifle. So that is still happening. Tickets are on sale. You can find a link to that over on our webpage, backwoodsvets.com, or you can go directly over to our friends over at Eric's Armory and their website at ericsarmory.com. Go over on the left side of the screen, go down the little menu there. You see raffle down that. Click on that, and it'll take you right to our G4S rifle. And tickets are $15 each. And even though they are online sales, they will go ahead and send you a picture via either email or text directly to your phone of your ticket stub. So that way you have your ticket numbers and everything else when the time comes for the drawing. So we have that. Let's see what else I'm forgetting. Oh, yes, that's right. So, well, since you're already here on our YouTube channel, be sure to go over and click the subscribe button and make sure you hit that little bell so that way you know when we upload new content, which we have popping up all the time. Thank you to the Dapper Sapper, Mr. John Toole, for getting that hooked up with all the outstanding content that he is putting up there on the channel. So thank you to him. Other than that, yeah, so what is going on, everybody? First off, Mariah, we'll start with you this week. What's going on? What's new? What's happening?
Kind of a weird weekend, but I'll let Justin go into more of that. Enjoyed some nice weather outside and got out and did a few outdoor activities in our own yards and enjoyed the weather right now. So, didn't do a whole lot of go anywhere, so.
And you know you were like severely off camera right now, right? Yeah, let me fix that. There we go. Now the people can see you.
Anyways, yeah, not a whole lot happening with my ear and everything this week with everything going on with the shutdowns.
All right.
Unfortunately.
Right.
Try and stay positive and keep smiling.
All we really can do at this point, right?
Yep.
So, all right. Moving on to the Dappa Sappa. What's new? What's happening, brother?
John, you are quiet.
John? No,
John.
You're muted, buddy.
Hello.
There you are.
There you are.
I wasn't muted. I don't know what the hell happened.
I did not
weird.
I did not jade you, I promise.
Anyways, yeah, been a pretty low-key week. took a 3-day weekend this weekend and just needed a break from work and spent all day Friday getting lost out in the Ochos with my other half and ignoring the closures at some of the campsites and just driving into them anyways because I don't care. My taxes still pay for that goddamn land. So I'm going to go take a look and enjoy it. Plus, you didn't hear this from me, but I may know somebody that has a key to the gates.
What?
So,
What
anyways,
is this key that you speak of?
Right. anyways, yeah. So that's pretty much it. We went out in the woods on Friday, had a nice relaxing day Saturday, and then did chores today. So, about it.
Very nice. High Tech, what's up with you, brother?
Pretty much same old this week for work-wise and all that. Didn't really do much during the week at all. And did come over and give you a hand there. Actually, gave you a hand last couple days. So I'll leave the Friday news to you. But we did help to erect a new part to your antenna system.
Yes.
So,
Oh, don't worry. I have something for the safety brief on that one.
Oh, shit. Here we go.
all right.
This is going to be good, whatever it is. So, no, it was a great week this week. You know, it was very long with work as always, but had a very positive ending. My son, Raymond, as some of you folks that listen into our radio shows, particularly over there at Friday Night Debauchery, who is our new intern known as Randy Ray.
Don't fuck it up, Randy.
Yeah, exactly. Has made his official debut onto Backwoods Veterans. So it was cool to have him on board finally. Got him to move down here from Montana, where actually he decided that he was just like, you know what, I'm ready for a change. Hey, Dad, I'm going to come down and move in with you. Okay. So hell of a change from up in north central Montana. But you know what? That's right. Glad to have him here. So did that, and like you guys said, you know, helped out with getting a ground plane kit, put on my base antenna here for my squawk box, and thank you to High Tech for that, for the hookup on it, and to Miss Mariah and Ray for helping get that all put up and everything else as well. So, yeah, other than that, just work, and yeah, trying to help the boy get settled in and get him moving on to bigger and better things. So it's been an interesting week, to say the least. So definitely different having another face around here, but it's been hilarious because Miss Mariah did not really understand just how similar we are.
I cannot get away from Justin at all now.
Whether it's
I have gone grocery shopping today, and Ray went with me. And I was like, holy shit, is Justin around?
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, just a lot of similarities between likes and dislikes and stuff like that. So.
Moist.
And you know what's funny is that by the way, everybody, you have High Tech to thank because he started razzing Mariah just enough over the weekend. Mariah was actually going to rock her Moist t-shirt tonight for the show. But nope, High Tech had to screw it up for everybody.
Moist.
Moist.
Yep. So
Hey,
that's just
what
the
did
way
I
it goes
what did I tell
sometimes.
you about that though? I told you either wear that shirt or you gotta go topless.
Yeah, that's not happening.
Yeah, not gonna happen on this show, brother. Sorry, don't know what to tell you.
Bullshit.
So
You could go topless, that's fine.
Who says
You
I'm
don't
not?
on camera.
Who says I'm
Well, yeah.
not? I might be bottomless too. You never know.
oh, you know what? That would not surprise me.
That's a sight I don't want to see.
I could just imagine High Tech sitting back behind the freaking. They're in the studio right now, sitting back in nothing but his flip flops, whitey tighties, and a freaking cowboy hat.
Huh?
Give me
That's
an idea.
that's been done before, but
Don't give him any ideas, please.
No, see, apparently the idea was already put in his head, so we didn't really have to add to it. It was just a refresher on what it was. What are you getting all flustered about over there?
Not.
Oh, she's over here trying to share the show out, and her phone's giving her fits. So she's about ready to throw her phone out the damn window. So, anyhow,
Throw that garbage Android away and get an iPhone.
Boo
Oh, no.
on you, good sir. Boo on you. Yeah.
Such a heathen trap there.
Damn. It's spicy getting all sorts of spun up. Anyhow, so high tech. It looks like we got a lot of folks checking in the comments tonight. What's that?
Go ahead and continue on.
Anyhow, yeah. If you high tech, if you want to go ahead and start going over our check-ins right quick, would be greatly appreciated, good sir.
Yeah, we have first one. Well, they call it a tie, but on my list, the first one that checked in was Queen Disaster Potential. Queen DP for short. And then we have Miss Kelly Jackson checking in from down there in Roseburg. Good to see you there, kid. We got Mr. Matt Crosby. He made it.
Hey,
Missed you Friday there, brother.
EO complaint there on over on the Spreaker side of the house.
Yep. Let's see. We got Miss Jade Combat Wombat Lopez checking in.
Tack Chipmunk.
That's
whoever you wanna
right.
call it.
Yep. Combat Cricket. Yeah.
Combat Wombat. That's
What
just
was the other armadillo? Attack Armadillo? Yeah.
Yeah, the Urban Assault Armadillo.
Yeah, there you go. Miss Katrina Stanley from the living room over there in Prime, Kentucky. Hi, lady.
Right?
hello.
Oh, and Miss Waterfall says, "Hey, it's Queen Disaster Fall, damn it."
Yeah,
I
that's why I
thought
said
that was
Queen
already
Disaster
established.
Potential. Yes.
I didn't hear it. Sorry, my bad.
Yes, Queen Disaster Potential.
Hey,
Queen,
she's
otherwise
giving
known as
credit
Queen
where credit's
DP.
due, though. She gave me the credit because I said Disaster Fall on Fence Line Country. On Tuesday.
Yes.
Yep. And let's see. Keep on moving down. I think that pretty much gets everybody except for
Don't fuck it up, Randy.
Yeah,
Randy
right.
Ray. He's on
Randy
with us.
Ray's checking in. There he is.
Yep, from 2 rooms
Good
away.
You're right. And let's see. Did you also? Matthew Jackson. You mentioned him as well, or did you miss it?
I don't see a Matthew Jackson. I'm sorry.
No, he's in there.
Oh,
He's
yep. You're right. There he is, Matthew Jackson. It was
Joe
in between.
Harley.
Yep, right after Matt Crosby there. So yeah, sorry about that, Matt.
So, alrighty, cool deal. Well, with that being said, it is 6:15 out here on the West Coast. So it is that time indeed for the outdoors segment. John, you ready?
I guess so.
Right.
All right, let's do it.
This outdoor segment is brought to you in part by Eric's Armory. And now, for your outdoor segment host,
How neat is that? That's pretty neat.
Oh yes, it is definitely pretty neat. Good evening, guys. Welcome. I am your outdoor co-host, John the Zapper Sapper. So today, what we have in store, first of all, if you haven't yet, go hit up ericsarmory.com. Go check them out. They're awesome sponsors. Go see what they can do for you. They're getting more stuff back into stock. They don't have any word on what all they're getting back in stock, but they're getting stuff back in stock. Be nice, play nice with them. They'll play nice with you. Yeah, and go check out their Facebook page at Eric's Armory and their Instagram page at ericsarmory.com. And with that, we're going to get into the first story. So I have a little something special for you guys tonight. That's going to be kind of a tail on to the video that was just released on Saturday concerning backpacks, because a few of you had asked me about backpacks. But we'll get to that here shortly. So first story is going to be something to kind of piss off somebody if they're spying out us. Mr. Urban Legends there got all pissy with me for saying bad things about wolves. But here's a story that has to be.
Yeah. What are you?
So cattle conflicts prompt killing of endangered Mexican wolves. Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Oh, sorry.
The killing of 4 Mexican gray wolves by U.S. Wildlife officials has drawn the ire of environmentalists. Oh, so you mean woke, freaking environmentalist, Greenpeace hippie types are pissed that they killed some wolves?
I wasn't gonna say nothing, but
Weird.
Yes,
Strange.
I need to
Anyways,
send out the herd.
has drawn the ire of environmentalists who say management of the species is undercutting efforts to restore the endangered predators to the American Southwest. Documents made public last week show U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service took the action in March after hazing, diversionary food caches, and other non-lethal means failed to get the predators to stop killing cattle in 2 rural areas of western New Mexico. The latest deaths highlight a conflict that has persisted since the reintroduction began more than 20 years ago. Over the last years, ranchers have seen record number of cattle kills. Weird. Go figure. That's weird. As the wolf population has increased. Regional officials issued the removal order last month as a last resort. Agency spokeswoman, this person has a very strange name, Aislinn Maestas, said, the purpose of the removal is to influence and or change wolf pack behavior to reduce the potential for recurrent wolf depredations on livestock while continuing to promote wolf recovery. All of that is an oxymoron, in my opinion. It's all an oxymoron. Yeah, we're gonna do this to stop the wolf attacks, but to promote more wolves, which are just gonna continue to attack your livestock.
It could be the fact that they're trying to get them out of those areas where they're having that continued contact, I guess you could say.
Yeah, well, a place here in Central Oregon that has never seen wolves in even old history now has wolves in the forest, which would be the Ochocos, right in my back door. Wolves are not. Yes, go ahead, laugh. Backyard.
I know of another area in
He's like,
Eastern
Backdoor.
Oregon that has wolves for sure, because I know somebody who actually got trail cam pictures of a pack of 6. So,
Anyways, yes, the wolves aren't native to Central Oregon. They never have been. They never were. And because they're trying to reintroduce them, as the environmentalists say, into the ecosystem, there's no reintroducing a species that never existed before. That's fucking stupid. And all you're doing is putting ranchers, farmers, livestock at risk. But anyways, we'll continue on with the article because this is interesting. So, like I said, they're trying to promote wolf recovery while also doing depredation around the ranches and the houses, but promoting, adding numbers. That doesn't make sense. 1 wolf was killed by federal workers on March 23rd. 3 others were taken out a few days later. It's still too soon for the wolf recovery team to determine the effect on the pack dynamics or prey habits. Michael Robinson of the Center for Biological Diversity is a longtime critic of how the recovery effort has been managed. He said last month's actions amounted to the largest lethal removal in the Southwest since 2009, when 9 members of an Arizona pack were killed. The killing spree shows us how little has changed in the mindset of wolf managers since the days of the federal wolf extermination a century ago, he said. Honestly, not a bad idea. He said the Fish and Wildlife Service would rather shoot wolves than require ranchers to protect their animals on public lands. Gee, I wonder how you protect your livestock on public lands. What do you think the ranchers are going to do?
You call the police, don't you? Isn't that what you do?
How about no?
But hey,
that's
wolves
shit.
aren't predators. These are coyotes, as somebody once famously said on this show. He got his butt hair in a fucking knot. Anyways, the killing spree shows us blah, blah, blah. So 2 wolves from the Magnus pack, which roams Arizona, New Mexico state line, and 2 members of the Predo pack further... Predo? That sounds like Cheeto. Further to the southwest were targeted as part of removal orders. Both packs are in known problem areas where wolf livestock conflicts have been regularly documented. The Pareto pack began preying on livestock after several members of the pack had been injured by non-government traps, environmentalists said. Why does anybody take what environmentalists have to say seriously? That's a good question. Answer that in the comments, guys, if you will. Where am I here? Ranchers
Also post up a link to the article in the comments as well.
Right. Ranchers argue that they have tried to haze wolves or have hired range riders to scare off the animals to no avail. They describe the wolves as brazen and unafraid of people. Weird. Strange. Man, those urban legends, I'll tell you what. Some have reported annual losses in tens of thousands of dollars, saying reimbursement often amounts to just a fraction many months later, if it comes at all. Go figure. The federal government reimburse you for damages done by reintroducing a species that hasn't existed in an area for a couple hundred years. Weird. The rarest subspecies of gray wolf in North America, the Mexican wolf, was all but eliminated by the 1970s, prompting the federal government to develop a captive breeding program. There are more Mexican wolves in the wild now than at any time since their reintroduction began. And the results of the latest survey show that there are at least 163 wolves in the wild in New Mexico and Arizona, a nearly 25% jump from previous years. Environmentalists say federal employees have shot and killed 20 wolves since 1998, and an additional 22 have died inadvertently as a result of capture operations. Honestly, that's not that many. 20 since 1998. Boo-hoo.
Well, compared to the numbers that they're currently sitting at right now, because right now there's, according to, what is this, Animalia.bio, where it's actually talking about, it actually gives you information on the Mexican gray wolf. It's the smallest subspecies of the gray wolf. It's what's commonly known as the El Lobo. So when they're talking about a lobo, that's what they're talking about, is that Mexican gray wolf. It only gets up to, they've only been found up to about 79 pounds, and you only get about 2.5 feet at the shoulder. So, I mean, it's not that big of an animal. It's actually closer to the timber wolf that actually is native to western parts of, western Oregon and Washington up here in the Pacific Northwest. And, their numbers have been dwindling very rapidly. I mean, they only have, of the 300 that they have in captivity right now, they're saying there's only like 159 that they've been able to record that are out in the wild between those two packs, both south of the border in what looks like state of Chihuahua, and then the state line between New Mexico and Arizona. So, it's not that it was reintroduced. It's the fact that they're trying to bump those numbers up is what they're trying to do. So it's kind of a reintroduction, but it's not for native species. So,
regardless of whatever it is, when it comes down to choice between livestock or wolves, I'm going to choose livestock every time. In livelihood of people working their ass off to feed their families.
I'm not disagreeing with you one bit.
No, I know you're not. I'm just saying, in general. But the reason I chose this article is because of we had an urban legend proponent on in the comments earlier, or what was it, last year, right?
Last season, yep.
Get into a pissing match with me over the fact that wolves are docile creatures and they never attack livestock and blah blah blah. Rat gack gack, suck my cock. Shut the hell up. Well, this article would definitely
counter what that legend was
quite well, I would say. Yeah. I don't know. What do you got, Josh? You've been pretty quiet through the whole thing, except for when I said my back door.
I'm still laughing about that, but yeah, I don't know. I personally, yes, I think wolves have a place within our within our forests and within the wildlife community and whatnot. The specific areas maybe where they're at maybe aren't very opportunistic or whatnot for the ranchers. I would say that maybe needs to be they need to take a look at that. I'd also kind of wonder, did Fish and Wildlife ever actually talk to the ranchers that have the grazing rights and all that for the land?
Right.
Did they all get together on this, beforehand, or was it just a surprise? Here's what's going on, Yeah, all of a sudden now you've got, all these wolves, at your as you said, back door. And so like I said, I just kind of have to wonder if about some of those kind of things. And
I can almost guarantee you it's the latter of the two. The federal government doesn't ask permission for anything. They say, oh, here you go. That's what they did in Eastern Oregon, and why we have wolves now coming into the Ochoco's, because in Idaho, they reintroduced a species of wolf that hasn't been around in centuries and has never been around in the Ochoco's.
I was going to say, that species isn't even native to that area.
Nope.
That's the thing about it.
And now we have a pack that's starting to make home in the Ochoco's. One of my good friends, their dog was almost killed by a gray wolf, confirmed by a vet in the Ochoco's over hunting season this year.
Oh, really?
So, yeah. But they don't want you to know that.
Of course not.
The Fish and Wildlife officials don't want you to know that at all.
That doesn't surprise me one bit.
So, and that's the thing, my question is, why do these woke environmentalists have such a hard-on for reintroducing species into areas that, quite frankly, they haven't been in a very long time? So they said, they started trying to boost the wolf population in that area in 1970. They stopped the federal wolf killing program, in 1970, right? Why all of a sudden? Because, they know that people ranch there. They know that people have cattle there. Why would you reintroduce a predatory species that is known for killing cattle and livestock into that area? And why is it so important that they be in that area?
Lobbyists.
Exactly.
They're probably thinking it's easy prey for the wolves. The cattle are.
Well, and woke environmentalists, they aren't very intelligent. That's the reason why we're in the predicament now we are with coronavirus.
One of the many.
We'll get to that later. But anyways,
right.
Leave us some comments on what you guys think are awesome viewers. And with that, we're going to move on to the next part of the story, or next part of the outdoor segment for the evening, which is going to be backpacking essentials. So if you guys haven't seen yet, there's a new video up on the YouTube original content in the outdoors playlist for backpacks. A few of you have talked to me over the past weeks about backpack choices as the weather has been getting nice, and what backpacks are good for what. So I'm going to go a little bit more in depth with that this evening. So with that, grab the first specimen that was on the video for those of you that haven't seen. So this right here, this cute little guy, this is a day pack. This is good for your day pack.
Yes, it looks like a pack. Yes.
What's that?
I said yes. It looks like a pack.
It's so cute. You could just pinch his cheeks.
Right? It's so cute and pretty. This is actually Katrina's pack, her little hydration carrier. So Camelback, typical Camelback, good for day hikes, going for a couple hour jaunts out in the woods and out on the trails. Of course, if you know anything about outdoor gear, Camelback is probably one of the better companies.
It's essential.
What's that?
It's essential.
It's essential. It is an essential company. They make awesome packs. Obviously, for all of us vets, we've all had some kind of an encounter with Camelback at some point, because, they pretty much cornered the market on hydration carriers for the military. So,
yes, they did.
Great packs, good for day hikes. Anything past that, that's a little 10-liter bag, so it's not very big. You can fit some essentials in there, and not a whole lot else. Some food, basically a warm layer, waterproof layer, and not a whole lot else from there. But from there, if you want to get into the backpacking world, I don't even know if I can fit this damn thing on screen. It's too big. That's what she
That's
said.
not what she said.
That's
Yeah.
is that what she
Uh-huh.
talking about?
Yeah.
Might have said that.
Anyhow.
So this is the big guy. Oh God, this thing's huge.
That's what she
I don't know.
said.
Is it coming across on the screen, guys? It's huge.
That's
Yeah.
what she said.
You have to go huge.
It's absolutely huge.
Yes.
So,
Stop
this
hurting
is
me.
Backpack you will ever find. It is
pack
huge.
for backpacking. That's what you're going to use to go on multi-day treks, like doing anything on the PCT, anything that you're going to be living out of for more than a day or two, versus just your average day hike. There are different sizes that go into that. You have, if you're doing multi-day stuff, anything overnight, you need something that has a 70-liter capacity or higher, which is about 6,000 cubic inch interior space or bigger. Just because you're going to add things like clothes, you're going to have a tent, you're going to have sleeping bag, sleeping pad, water, food, stove, purifier, extra set of shoes. I always like to carry an extra set of shoes because I don't like to wear my hiking boots after I'm in camp. I like to get my feet out of my sweaty boots,
Yes.
out of
Yes,
sweaty socks. And then you're going to have things like a first aid kit and all that kind of stuff. So you want a pack that's going to be suitable for that, and also a pack that's going to manage the weight. A day pack or a 50-liter bag is not going to manage the weight very well. It's not designed to manage the weight. But yeah, so that's kind of the difference between bags. But we got a little bit more to go with that. So any trip out into the backcountry,
We break it down a
you
little
should
bit.
be having one of these with you.
As much as they can go right now.
You might be saying, what is this there, Dapper Sapper? Well, this is a water purifier. This is probably one of the most important things you can take into the backcountry with you because, yeah, you can take water with you, but what if you run out of water? You don't want to just drink raw water, if you will.
No. No raw water for you.
No raw water. You have raw ass. You have very raw ass if you drink raw water.
Put it mildly.
To put it very mildly, yes. You know, you definitely want to have some kind of water purifier. This is the MSR Sweetwater system. It's a pump that allows you to pump water out of a stream or any other kind of tainted water source, and it kills
Red Rocket! Come on!
germs and bacteria, 99.9%. So it'll filter out coronavirus.
Yes.
Just saying. Just saying.
So long, Corona.
This will save you from coronavirus. Oh wait, that's sarcasm. Do not take me seriously on that.
Hey, does it come with disinfectant?
Right? You just inject
What kind of disinfectant?
Yeah, so that's definitely a super
151 rum?
And then the other thing that I would say is make sure you have batteries, map and compass, or a GPS, and some kind of food source. Enough food to last you at least for a day. So a couple meals, some granola bars, some basic essentials, and then a warming layer, of course, and a waterproof layer, just in case. Those are all basic essentials for going into the backcountry. So I hope that answers some of the questions that I've been getting out there from you guys. But yeah, that's all I got for the outdoor section this week. What are your guys' thoughts?
Well, you know, I've always, yeah, you and I have been talking about this actually for a little while, but I definitely have an interest in going and you know, doing some hiking and all that, and doing some backpacking a little bit, and I'd love to take my daughter out, you know, doing it. Matter of fact, for Christmas, actually, for my brother and my sister-in-law, I bought them the Pocket Rocket stove, portable stove deal.
Red Rocket, Red Rocket.
That's right. I water purifier deal and different stuff like that, because with their kids, they're going and starting to do some of that kind of hiking stuff and all that as well, and teaching them about
You bought one of these, Josh?
I did buy one of those. Not for me, for my brother.
Ah,
But
that's right.
So you bought your brother's Red Rocket.
yes, basically.
Oh, gosh. All right, guys. So what High Tech is talking about, if you haven't seen the videos that are on our YouTube channel, this is the MSR Pocket Rocket. It is a portable stove. This is a stove. It is a gas-burning stove. It burns off of isobutane gas canisters. You need a lighter to ignite it, but Justin has seen this out hunting, and so has Josh.
Yes.
This thing will boil water very quickly.
Oh, yeah.
Very efficiently.
Great
And
for
it
making
takes up
coffee with the quickness.
and it takes up absolutely almost zero room in your hunting pack or your pack or anything. Or you can put this in the glove box of your truck with a fuel can and a titanium cup. You never know it's there until you actually needed it. This thing is amazing, and it is definitely an essential that I would say you should always have in the backcountry.
Essential. It's essential.
Back country or back door?
It's a backpack that's supposed to be out in the woods. What are you doing with a truck?
Oh, good Lord. Leave it to the old man.
Meaning for emergency uses, Pops.
Gosh. Anyhow.
Go ahead. Continue on, Josh. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I actually just happen to have this in here with me.
No, that was perfect. Yeah, so again, started by them, a few of those different things, and obviously I want to eventually, get some for myself, and do some, like I said, do some backpacking with my daughter, and hopefully with you and Katrina and all that, and go and see what we can do, a little day trip and sort of action, or I don't know, whatever the hell we come up with. So. Definitely, having the backpack, having the, the Camelback bladder and all those kind of things will be pretty, will definitely
Pretty
be good
neat.
to have for multiple things. So I do have a Camelback bladder actually that I use in my hunting pack. So.
Right. Personally, I don't use Camelbacks. I prefer Nalgene bottles, but that's the firefighter in me. I hate Camelbacks. I think they grow algae during the summertime, so and they're a pain in the ass to clean. So I prefer to stick to just the 1 quart and 2 quart Nalgene bottles. But yeah. Justin?
One thing that you never want to forget, and this is one thing that a lot of people do seem to forget, is one of the things that they tell you is take a knife set or something with you too.
Like this one?
Yeah, even not just that, but on top of your knife, make sure you take a little one of these guys, a little handy dandy multi-tool, because one of these out there in the wilderness can save your ass, because it has a saw blade, it has a knife blade, you have different types of tools, you have your pliers, it has a set of cutters on it, for helping make, if you wind up getting stuck out or turn around or whatever in the backcountry, you have something you can use for helping to make shelter, to help you get food, or take care, for cleaning, things that you may be trapping, small game like squirrels or rabbits or things of that nature, to help you help you retain your energy and stuff, so that way you can get out. So it's good to have those types of things with you, not just the stuff that, we've already mentioned, water, food, heat, and shelter. Those are the biggest things that you're going to need when you're out there if somewhere to happen and you got to turn around out there in the backcountry. So, like I said, I like to keep a good knife, at least a couple extra blades and different types, like a bone saw or a regular wood saw or things like that with me, just in case. It's one of the things I always carry with me every time I go out.
Excellent.
So, Pop?
Well, one of the things I always like to carry out there is a poncho. When it fits over, I can make a half shelter out of it, or wear it over me, or just pull up against a tree and pull it over me and stay warm and keep dry.
A lot of times that's all you take out with you.
Yeah, very often that is.
At least
Used to
back
could.
in the day.
Used to could.
Then a rifle and a couple of shells.
Yeah, used to could.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be the first time I've known you to do that. So, but no, that's all we got over on this side there, John.
Yeah, no, good stuff. And like I said, guys, to begin with, this was more of a brief rundown. It's supposed to be more on backpacking, and especially for day hikes, and some of the bare essentials for going into the backcountry. I am looking at doing a more in-depth video for at least as far as my particular backpacking expedition setup goes for what I've used on many week-long expeditions into the wilderness. Most notably, my Knowles expedition that I did in 2013. That was probably one, I would say, life-changing as far as the outdoors goes, life-changing trip for me. That was 8 days in the Ishi Wilderness, and we covered almost 215 miles in 8 days.
Oh wow,
It was
that's a big
quite
chunk.
it was quite the trek. And yeah, I lived out of a backpack with my hiking group for 8 days. It's going over some what started out to be not so bad terrain, but quickly by the end of the trip turned into some nightmare conditions at times. Being in a thunderstorm that turns into a blizzard all of a sudden is a pretty unique thing.
Yeah.
But anyways, that's an entirely different story for an entirely different time. Guys, that's all I have for the outdoor segment this evening. Please go check out Eric's Armory at ericsarmory.com. Go check out their Facebook page and their Instagram. Huge thank you to them. While you're at their website, go buy a ticket for the G4S rifle. $15, guys, gets you a ticket. There's no cap on the amount of tickets that can be sold. This is going to be I hate to say a once-in-a-lifetime rifle, but it's a once-in-a-lifetime rifle since Air Precision doesn't make the camouflage pattern that's on our rifle anymore. In fact, it's the only one that has the camouflage pattern. So go check that out, buy a ticket. Guys, the person that won last year's G4S rifle put in 2 tickets. So you never know what can happen. Just go buy a ticket. You won't regret it. It's all going to a good cause anyways to benefit TFO. With that, guys, I will talk to you later, and I will hand it back to Justin.
All right. So thank you, John. Do appreciate it. And we're going to go ahead and move into our next segment known as Pop's Takes. Hit it, Josh.
We hope you brought the aloe and sunscreen.
Bullshit.
Because these takes are scorching hot. Now, get ready for some raw,
You want it raw?
gritty, and unfiltered takes from the old man, Don himself.
She can't say the truth because it does makes her look like an idiot. Because that's what she is.
These are Pop's Takes, right here on BB Nation Radio.
Bullshit.
It's bullshit. By God. Well, in the meantime, here's to you, sir.
To you.
Bullshit.
I'll hand that off to you as well so you can partake as well. Good old Pendleton 1910 whiskey. Mm-hmm. Good stuff. So, what you got for us this week, old man?
Well, we were talking earlier today about what happened with Rocket Man.
Oh, Mr. Kim Jong-un.
Yes. And I don't wish anybody a bad thing like that, but it couldn't happen to a better person. Anyhow,
wow.
what really worries me
He's so
about
Ronry.
what worries me about the whole situation is that I understand that his sister's going to be taking over as the commander or the
Supreme Chancellor, or
Yeah,
whatever they call them over there now.
whatever they are. Anyhow, I've heard rumors, things about her that scare the hell out of me.
Right.
She is, from what I understand, is one of the most staunch,
Communists?
more than communist. She has to be total control.
So totalitarian.
Very much totalitarian.
Easy for you to say.
Yeah, I mean,
Totalitarian.
I come in from working in the yard all day, and then I had a couple of shots just to straighten out. So I guess my tongue gets a little twisted once in a while. But it's been a good day because I could get out of the house. I'm so tired of this sitting in the house all the time. But-
Yeah.
But that really worries me about this gal. If everything I've heard about her is true, we could be worse off than we were with the other guy, with old Rocket Man.
With old Rocket Man.
So has it been confirmed that Rocket Man's dead?
No.
Yes,
Yes and no. Yeah, I was gonna say yes and no. So last word was here earlier this afternoon. North Korean state television was actually showing images of a funeral. A lot of people believe it was Kim Jong Il from his funeral here back in 2011, but there's also rumors that it's because of where it was at. It's in the same city as where his personal train is right now, I guess you could call it. Wuhan or something, not to be confused with Wuhan, friggin' China, but it's a village out there on the North Korean coastline, and that's where they actually were having this funeral at least that's what North Korean state TV reports, and they said it was Kim Jong Un. At least they said that his death was 2 days ago, so on Friday. That has been confirmed by U.S. or South Korean intelligence yet. They said they have not received any indication that he has passed. All we know is that he underwent, I guess, apparently was to get a stent put in, because of having heart issues. So that's all they were able to confirm at this point in time. But we're not quite sure on that. Kim Yo Jong is Kim Jong Un's younger sister.
Right.
That's her name.
Right.
So by the way, South China Morning Post says that a South Korean official just told them or whatever that he is still alive.
Okay, so yeah,
that was as of about 10 minutes ago.
Okay. So, that's what I'm saying. It hasn't been confirmed or anything else, but North Korean state TV was reporting.
Did that come from China?
That came from China, and then also I have a report from U.S. intelligence that says they also do not believe that he's dead.
Which is what I just said, essentially.
I believe our own intelligence a lot more than I would to Chinese. I'm sorry.
I hear you there.
You cannot believe, if any of you viewers that we love believe the Chinese, you have issues.
Yeah, right.
You cannot believe the Chinese. Period.
You believe the Chinese over our own people.
Well, you know what? You can believe in the Chinese. If you believe in them, you must believe in Pelosi.
I don't believe either one. So.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
that's why I haven't been watching the news this week at all, or trying as hard as I can not to. So sick of it right now.
Right.
Well, that's why I was so glad to get out of the house today and spend all the time out in the yard working out there.
Right.
Good to get away from it a little bit, but yeah, there's always. I like to keep abreast of what's going on, but it's got to the point where it's just repetitive. Everything's the same thing. It'd be nice if they'd give us some different news or something that was really news.
Something that was real news opposed to fake news?
Yes. There is nothing. Well,
hey, where's the fake news soundbite?
Yeah. Fake news. But you know what, though? We try.
Fake news.
But there's
CNN.
Why can't
Fake.
These reporters out there that are supposed to be reporters and report the truth, and they twist everything around so much just to make their own ends or their own way of what they want things to go.
Well, take a look at all these news outlets trying to say that President Trump was trying to encourage people to inject themselves with disinfectants and drink bleach and all this other crap. It's just like, you guys are the same ones that encourage our freaking Tide Pod eaters. So that was going on well before the president even said something about this.
That shit has gotten so bad that I actually have had to delete people off of Facebook. People that I've known for a long time, people that you and I deployed with, Justin.
Yeah.
I have deleted and blocked because they are, I didn't know, but they're in the closet liberals that are they got a case of the woke retardation real bad,
Yep.
and it's like, yeah, I can't be friends with you. Like, you're a moron. Sorry that you're so stupid.
It's like, I used to think you were all right guy until here recently. Now I come to discover that you're just, and there's nothing wrong with having a different opinion.
No. Well,
but when you're
You're
far,
stupid.
till you're so far outlandish.
well, you guys, both of you spent a lot of time with the guards and everything, right?
Well, these are people that were in too that
Yes,
were talking
but
about that.
Let me tell you, explain. A lot of these people that went into guards or even into the military during peacetime, when there was nothing going on, were in for one reason. They were looking for a free education when they got out. That's why they took short terms, 2 years, the reserves 6 months, and then
Right.
guard duty and all that. And then they get this free education and everything. But when they found out that they had to go in and fight for the country, it scared the hell out of them. And they didn't want to do that. They wanted just to get their own free stuff. And that's what a lot of them, I didn't believe it at first, okay? I mean, I was one of the first protectors of these people. But all of a sudden I'm finding out that it's the truth. And that's bad. If they went into because they felt obligation to protect our country and our way of life and all
I
that.
think it was because they didn't have a choice.
Well,
They were already in. They got told, yeah, guess what? We're going down range.
Yeah, that's once they're in like that and everything in peacetime, then they, then all of a sudden they had to go, and they didn't know. They were scared to death. They really didn't know a lot. Now I can't say that about all of them. I'm just saying that about a few.
Right.
But there were some of the guard people or the reserves and all that went in that meant they were in there for the right reason. They wanted to protect our country. They wanted to protect our way of life and our values. And it just turns out that there are some that, like I said, there were some that just went in for one reason, and that was to get an education.
Well, it's like when I joined back in '98. What was going on at that point? Bosnia was still going on at that point in time. I was like, yes, let's go. Let's do this. And by the time I got done with everything, it was done. I was like, oh, so sad. But you know what? It is what it is. So, anyhow, Pops, appreciate it. You going to stick with us through
sure, I can do
the
that.
news right quick? All righty. It is 6:55 straight up. So, high tech, go ahead and send us into our next segment, please, good sir. All right, coming to us from our friends over at American Military News. Story is actually, where's this? This is the Philadelphia Inquirer. So it's coming to us from out there the East Coast. Dated today. Headline reads, for sale, only $1.8 million with swimming pool. Cold War era, it says Nike, but I am assuming that means nuke.
Nope,
missile
that is
base.
correct. Nike missile
Nike?
base.
All right, well, Nike missile base. Nike, whatever you want to call it, missile base in South Jersey. That's right. The Gloucester County community has put for sale the command section of a Cold War era Nike missile base that was part of the nation's defense against an attack by the Soviet Union. The Army abandoned the 33-acre site in Woolwich Township and hundreds of others like it around the country in 1974. Now the Gloucester County community hopes a commercial developer will buy it. We've been interested in selling it for a number of years, said Jane DeBella, township administrator. It's been an eyesore. The township sent out a request for proposals last week for uses for 2 tracts of the site that could include offices, restaurants, retail, breweries, distilleries, indoor recreation, and a park with walking paths and benches. The minimum bid due by June 15th is $1.8 million, according to the request. Located on Paulsboro Road, just off of Route 322, the Nike base was built as part of the last line of defense to protect Philadelphia against Soviet Union-launched Sputnik 1 in 1957, said James Heinzen, a history professor at Rowan University. The world's first artificial satellite, Sputnik, heightened the nuclear buildup between the countries. Excuse me. The fear was that they could knock out our cities and defense before we could respond, said Heinzen, who teaches a course on the Cold War. It was this whole cycle that was endless. The base was among 5 in South Jersey and 7 in Pennsylvania that formed a ring around Philadelphia. Among them was one in Lumberton, Burlington County, and another in Bristol, Bucks County. More than 250 Nike bases were scattered around the country. Most were redeveloped into housing when sites were closed. The Woolwich site has remnants of its past, hatches that go down 30 feet to the missile vaults, 4 radio towers, a spare parts building, a pump house, a mess hall, a drained swimming pool, quarters for officers and enlisted soldiers, a guard shack, and several sheds. Known as Swedesboro PH-58, the base had 2 parts: the command section, which housed the facility's radar towers and control center, and a launch center, where the base's nuclear-guided missiles were stored horizontally in underground magazines. With its proximity to major highways, including I-295 and industrial area, the site has appeal, said Jane Estelta, vice president of the Southern New Jersey Development Council. It is within walking distance of 3,200 homes, according to the proposal. It would really be a good fit for the community, Estelta said. I wouldn't be surprised if there were several bids on it. DeBella said work is underway that would put the site within the township's sewer area, making it more attractive to a potential buyer. She said the township already has received several inquiries. The property for sale in the redevelopment plan is located at Block 14, lots 2 and 4, mostly overgrown with broken pavement, glass, and debris. The township suggested a possible agricultural or historical theme to potential buyers that incorporates the site's past as a Nike base. Woolwich obtained the site from the U.S. government for $828,000 in 2009. Under the purchase agreement, it had to wait 3 years to sell it to avoid turning over any profit to the government. After the economy stalled in the recession, the township delayed trying to sell the remaining tract. This is the first time the township, one of the fastest growing in the region, has put out a request for proposals to sell it, DeBella said. It's been sitting on our tax rolls for many, many years, he said. Although the Nike base is not designed or designated as a historical site, it played a role in the arms race, Heinzen said. In June of 1967, President Lyndon B. Johnson and Soviet Premier Alexei Kosygin, did I say that right, Pops?
Yep, you got it close.
Close. Discussed the Nike site and the nuclear arms race during the Hollybush Summit, a 2-day meeting on the campus of Glassboro State College, now Rowan University, said Heinzen, director of Hollybush Institute. Johnson suggested an agreement to curtail the manufacturing of ballistic missiles equipped with nuclear arms. A deal was not reached, but the 10 hours of talks helped to quell tensions between the countries. In 1972, the superpowers reached the SALT I Treaty, signed by President Richard M. Nixon, to eliminate the anti-ballistic systems. 2 years later, the Nike missile bases were decommissioned. They gave up the idea that anybody was going to be able to shoot down any of these missiles. Heinzen said it didn't make any sense. End of article. Thoughts?
Well, he's right. Those things were not designed to knock down the missiles that they had at that time. The missiles were way past the technology of what these sites had.
Right.
So they were kind of ridiculous to have. At least the only good thing about them is they were deep enough underground that the people in them would end up being safe.
John?
My one question is, how do they expect to build on this by June 15th or whatever when we're all in lockdown and have to stay at home?
Right.
Good
Where's the social distancing, damn it?
No, it's essential that they sell it and somebody builds on it. Come on now.
Yeah, they have to sell it first.
Yeah, let's sell it and build it so that nobody can go use it.
Right. Freaking Matt Crosby sounds like Al Assad, right? Terrell says, you could buy a high-capacity underground magazine? Sweet! Right? For a nuclear freaking weapon. Just saying.
What?
The atomic bomb.
Boom.
Yeah, lasers. There's not bombs there, there's lasers. Freaking giant lasers.
Absolutely. So, no, it's funny because we're sitting here doing pre-production. I asked the guys, I was like, so, Anyone want to go in on a $1.8 million loan and we can actually build a new compound for the station? I mean, they already got the tower, so we can
Hey.
broadcast like no other.
Hey, I'm all about a compound, but Jersey? Come on.
Joyzy? Freaking Joyzy? It ain't much worse than what we're dealing with right now. Actually, then again, with some of the people there in Joyzy, yeah, we'll have to rethink that one.
You need to watch. You need to watch the South Park episode of when Jersey invades South Park.
Oh my God!
I'm good with staying away from Jersey, dude.
Yeah. Careful, Dapper Sapper, you might get bit. Just say. Anyhow, so but that concludes this week's article for your special news update. So thank you very much, good sir. Pops, you got any other thoughts on this stuff?
I lived that era. I just got out of the service in 66.
Well, why do you think I wanted to get your opinion on this?
So a lot of stuff going on then was so ridiculous that it was so far behind times. The military, both Russia and us and all that, were so far advanced over what these people were trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
And it was spending a lot of money that wasn't going to do any good. And I hated to see that, but that's just what happened then.
Well,
people were afraid of the Cold War breaking out into a real war again.
Right.
They did through enough of these wars that they just didn't want to see anymore for a while. Actually, ever, but it never stops. Always somebody wants to rule everybody else, and it's too bad that they can't. People just can't get along and live together. And okay, you got one way of living, you stay there, and we'll stay here.
Right.
But they just won't do that. They got to have control over everything, and that's a sad part. Look what they've done with this coronavirus shit.
Yeah, right. As a prime example. So, all right, Pops. Well, thank you very much. We'll go and bring Mariah in here.
All right. Thanks a lot for your time, guys, and you guys all have a good time.
Pops,
Thanks,
thank you
Pops.
once again. As
Thanks,
always, a pleasure.
You guys all take good.
All right. So while he's stumbling his way up, again, we have flashbangs. Matt Jackson's Jersey has some of the worst gun control laws. Yeah. Well, they're not alone. I mean, have you
Yeah,
seen
but
some-
we'll have freaking missiles
Yeah. We will have freaking missiles,
with
nuclear
freaking
weapons.
lasers.
Lasers with sharks. John, are you shaving?
I am. Mixing
Sounds
things up a bit, you guys. Come on, it's almost the boog. I gotta intimidate people by shaving paper.
All right. Well, now that we got Mariah back, what do you say we go ahead and jump into our next segment known as Dummy of the Week?
I'll spell it for you. D-U-M-M-Y. Shut up, dummy. You big dummy.
For every man, there's a woman.
And for every dummy, there's a dummy. Dummy.
And now, your Dummy of the Week on BV Nation Radio.
Wow,
All
Mariah,
right, take it away.
don't look so excited. The big yawn there and everything. Jeez. Were you like napping while Pops was talking or what?
No.
Anyhow, go ahead, Mariah.
Texas mayor apologized after violating stay-at-home order to go to the nail salon. The mayor of Southern Texas City apologizes for violating her own stay-at-home order after a photo surfaced on social media of her at a nail salon.
Why did you do that, Karen?
The trip Tuesday by
Beaumont.
Mayor Becky Ames to close the salon has sparked the investigation by a district attorney. In the image of the mayor seen wearing a face mask as she is seated at the table with her hands in a bowl of water, according to NBC affiliate KBMT in Beaumont. The photo was taken at the nail bar. Multiple calls to NBC News to the nail salon were not answered immediately or returned immediately. The photos sparked backlash from people who criticized the mayor for disobeying her own order in the midst of the coronavirus pandemic. On Thursday, Ames issued an apology saying she had a lapse in judgment. I promise there was no malice intended, she wrote in a statement. I should never have entered the nail salon last Tuesday. I did not intend to take personal privilege while asking others to sacrifice, and for that I am truly remorseful. Ames concluded by asking for forgiveness. She is an elected official. I am held to a higher standard. I regret my action that day. I am honestly sorry, and I pray that you will forgive me, she said. Governor Greg Abbott issued a stay-at-home order to close all non-essential business, including nail salons, on April 2nd. Mayor Ames had issued a similar order in her city earlier in the week on March 27th.
Big dum-dum.
So I have the picture up on the screen there for everybody.
Yep.
So I got a couple questions on this.
Okay.
So she went to a nail salon and supposedly they just left this bowl of acetone or whatever out for her so she can dip her fingers in and do whatever.
Yeah.
So they just left the place unlocked and they weren't there? Is how that worked?
That makes me wonder because it said that...
So because if they weren't, then that explains her wearing the mask. But if they didn't, then does she drive with that mask on by herself too?
I don't know nowadays. A lot of people do.
Definitely a Karen.
Yeah.
I mean,
crazy.
I would love to go get my nails done again. They're driving me absolutely nuts. But I've had to adjust to not having them done. So, yeah.
Yeah, I don't understand. She issues, the order, stay at home, whatever, non-essential, blah, blah, blah. Same as everybody else has. And then she's going to go and get her nails did or go dip her nails because that's important for some reason.
Apparently. Sorry, go ahead, Josh.
No, go ahead.
I thought you were done, so my apologies. Mayor also told KBMT that she went to the salon after talking with the owner about how to remove an old manicure set. Ames said she needed acetone, and the owner said she would leave some for the mayor. Instead, the owner left the solution in a bowl inside the salon. Ames said she was only there for about 10 minutes and did not get her nails redone. The owner told the outlet that surveillance video backs up the mayor's story.
Okay, but again, was that an essential service?
You can get acetone
essential service
other places, and it's non-essential. I mean, I don't have mine done or anything right now, and I've had mine done for years. So, yeah,
it's just not an essential service.
She acts like her shit didn't stink.
No essential for you. No essential.
Well, this just proves a point that I think a lot of us have been saying since the beginning of this whole thing, and I think that I think we're being fucking lied to by our public officials, personally. Obviously, they're not very concerned about it, so...
Right.
And obviously, as more and more data comes out about the coronavirus and all this stuff, we're learning that, they're showing in New York that most of New York has probably had it already, and that the mortality rate is probably far lower than any of us could have possibly predicted.
Yeah,
so,
exactly. The truth is coming out.
Yeah. So
You want the truth?
Yeah, the truth is coming out that we basically threw a tantrum in our pram and then threw our toys out of the pram to fix the situation, which is ridiculous. So, whatever.
This is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. So, Josh, you got anything else on this one?
I think that pretty well did it for me.
Miss Mariah?
Just another entitled elite politician doing whatever the hell they want.
It's like Ted Wheeler, the East Coast. I mean, what?
Oh, what?
Hey, So
in Texas, excuse me.
So Matt Jackson just said, "Oh, by the way, it's $1,000 fine to walk around without a mask in California." So this kind of brings up another topic I was going to mention. Did you hear that that they are allowing the background checks if you're buying ammo in California?
Yep, the Ninth Circuit Court upheld the decision that the local courts shot down, which is absolutely insane.
They did say 4 right now. 4 right now. So I think it's going to be reviewed further.
I thought that got freaking axed. I thought they put kibosh on that for right now.
It went to the Ninth Circus.
Oh, Jesus. No wonder. San Francisco.
And the Ninth Circus said, yay, yay.
Yeah, thanks, San Francisco. Appreciate that.
Yeah, so I thought that was a little interesting when I read that yesterday.
Indeed.
Oh, no,
what are you doing?
There's no doubt as to what's going on and what's happening with our civil liberties. Like I'm not like, this is no longer tinfoil hat stuff. If you think that it's tinfoil hat, well, you're the one wearing the tinfoil hat.
You're wearing the Bird Box blindfold is what you're doing.
You're wearing the Bird Box blindfold with earplugs in your ear going la 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 la.
The government will protect me. Okay.
No, big government is spending us into fucking oblivion, and yeah. So take that for what it's worth.
Agreed. So, all right. Well, with that being said, that wraps up this week's Dummy of the Week. So, closing comments and thoughts, since it is coming up on quarter after the hour out here on the West Coast. We're going to start off with Mariah this week. What do you got?
Stay at home if you can with this lockdown thing. Don't be going out and get your nails done or go out for non-essential items. Hopefully this will be passing soon. Other than that, have a good week.
All right. Dappa Sappa, what you got for us, brother?
Oh, it's safety brief time.
Safety brief.
Yes. So safety brief time. So during this stay home, stay safe malarkey, don't sniff coke off a hooker's butt. So that's rule number 1. Okay. Don't be your wives, don't be your husbands. If it gets moist, put on a raincoat.
Yes.
If you're going to erect a pole, use 3 sets of hands. And as always, latex saves paychecks during quarantine, guys. Be safe out there. Reach out. If you are in a dark place, reach out to somebody. Reach out to us. Get out in the outdoors. If you think you're going to get arrested for going down a trailhead, I went to probably 4 campsites that were closed on Friday, and I didn't get arrested. So food for thought on that one. I don't think the Forest Service and LEOs, unless you're in California, really give a shit. So take it for what it's worth. Get out, soak up some sunshine, get your mood up. And that's all I got for that.
Enjoy your vitamin D.
And yes, if you're going to erect a pole, 3 sets of hands.
We had 4. Anyhow, moving right along.
Minimum of 3.
And we had a supervisor too.
Yeah, and a supervisor. High tech, what do you got for us, brother?
Oh boy. Yeah, be safe out there. Definitely try to have as much fun as you can with those around. I actually missed out on a meeting up for a bike ride with my family today. Unfortunately, I would have loved to go do it, but being that I had one nice day this weekend, I had to get all that outside work done. So, yeah, but definitely, get away from the TV, get away from the game system, go take a walk, take the dog out for a walk. I mean, you could take your neighbor's dog out for a walk, be nice to them too, but, yeah.
If you don't have a dog.
It's not nice to talk about the neighbor's wife like that, bro.
You knew where I was going.
Daniel.
Anyways, yeah, it's for me, it's definitely getting harder to stay home and not go and do things. Not get out and see people and have activities and all that. So hopefully these these restrictions start getting lifted very soon in the next few weeks, and we'll just kind of keep an eye and an ear out for everything and hope for the best. So that's what I got.
All right. So again, thank you to our sponsors over at Eric's Armory and ericsarmory.com, as well as our friend Tiny over at Tiny CB Shop out there in Malala. Remember, guys, we are working hard to get things back on track and rescheduled for Guitars to Stars. It is going to happen. I promise. It will happen. It's just a matter of nailing down an exact date. So do not fret. It is still going to happen. Go over to ericsarmory.com. Get your tickets for the rifle, the grand prize rifle that we're going to be giving away at Guitars to Stars this year. Thank you guys for tuning in. We do appreciate it. We're going to go ahead and wrap this up a little bit early tonight. Since that is all we have, we're actually well ahead of the power curve this week.
I didn't think we were that far ahead.
You know, what's funny is 1700 Somewhere actually only went for about an hour and 15 minutes earlier today.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So, hey, just must be that kind of day.
It must be. So, all right, guys. Again, thank you all for tuning in. Do appreciate it. Much love to you all. I will talk to you guys on Tuesday night over there on the Fence Line Country on Spreaker. They're at Backwoods Veterans Media. They're on the Spreaker side of the house. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell here on our YouTube channel, and be sure to check out our Facebook page as well. Give us a like and a share and help us out, because we can't do it without you guys. So much love to you guys. We will talk to you here later on. Have a good week. JW and crew, we out.
This has been another episode of BB Nation Radio here on Backwoods Veterans Media.